Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about how to creating a minimal web API. Now, web applications are pretty popular, and in order to communicate with those, we require an API. In order to communicate with different softwares, we require an API, and minimal web API is the most easiest form if you wanted to communicate to a web server. So, in order to do that, in order to create a web server and web API, we need to write .NET new web API, which will be providing you with these 5 line of code. And just let me scroll this in order to create the simplest web API. So let's talk about these particular 5 lines of code and then what extra I have done in order to achieve the completion of this task. So firstly, I have this web application. It has a method called create builder. So it helps you configure the web application. And builders is nothing but the instance of that particular web application. Now builder.services.endpoint API Explorer helps you create the minimal web API, which we need in order to communicate to the web server. Then I have this HTTP redirections because I'm providing different commands to the web server through the Postman in order to get the JSON file, whatever the commands are actually stored onto the application. I have created this list which has a generic data type, robot commands. Each command has its own ID. And then I have this robot map, new map. I have assigned the width to 5 and height to 5. Then whenever I ask for let me run the command. So let's see side by side how it actually do the thing. So .NET run and I got a localhost URL. Let's type that URL inside our Postman. So I'm going to be giving a GET request. So I'm asking the information from the server. So let's change this request to this request send. It should be saying hello robot. So I have actually started the API route. It will be saying hello robot. Let's now what else request what other kind of request that I could ask the server is the robot command. So what does this will be doing? It will telling me about the commands. And what are the commands? It will be providing me this list. So let's see whether it actually does that. Let's write robot command inside that robot command. Okay, it has provided me with the list. So different kind of commands inside it. I have actually created other commands, but that won't be showing because the original information is this. It doesn't change this. There are other things in order to do that, but for this instance of task, that's sufficient. So let's move on to the move command. Now what it will do, it will show me the move command. So let's see whether it actually shows me the move command. I have defined this command in here and it's the same, the get request. So it will asking the information from the server. And what kind of information it will be giving? ID and the command. So it has actually given me the ID and command. And the next I have another get request. So I'll be asking it about the ID. And if the ID, now we have defined uh, four IDs are defined, but I have actually stored 6 inside of it. So let's see, change the move command to 6. Let's change 8 because I haven't defined any. Let's go with the 4th ID. It should be showing me move command. And I have actually defined 2 other commands, which are so I then I'm actually fetching that. I have this post method. Now post is like you're sending the request to the server. So take this information, have it over there. So in order to do that, I will be getting the JSON file syntax. So let me just copy this syntax and let's go to the post, and I have to remove this, and I have to go to the body, and let's go with the, okay, it has defined something. Let me just change it to 5 because 4 are already defined. Let's go with 5 and just move back. So it has actually told me that at 5, now I have posted and asking it what it has at the ID 4. So let's see whether it will give me. So it has actually given me that. And let's print all the, let's move on to the next command. Then I have put command. So post means I am creating another one, and put means I'm going to replace the original one. So earlier I had 5 ID and the command was skip. Now I'll be changing the command to, let's say, jump. Let's go with jump. So I will be changing 5, have it been 5. Okay, I can just change it here. Let's just say has, okay, now so it will say jump is there at the 5th. Now let's move again and get request, and it says I'm asking for robot. I have defined it to be 5, that the width is 5 and the height is 5. Let's move on to the next command. So it is asking for the coordinates. So whether the coordinates actually exist or not. So it will be giving me the value in true or false. So the actual coordinates are 5 and 5. Let's go with something which I don't think so should be existing on that map. So it should be giving me false, then -10, and it should be saying false. So let's go with 2, comma 2. Yeah, I have this put command. I could change the size of the put, and okay, first of all, and so that I can get the JSON syntax and then change the size of the map. Let's just say, let's just, okay. I have successfully changed it.